Hi, my name's Kaylee from createwithkaylee.com. I'm back today to show you how to start the decorating process for our album. So this is the album I've been showing you how to make. Day one we made the base and did the cutting for the inside. On day two we assembled the waterfall and the pockets, and today on day three we're going to do the decorating. We're going to focus today on the pockets, but we're also going to do a little bit towards the decoration on the front and the inside, simply because that takes a little bit of time to dry. So I'm going to grab our pockets from yesterday. This is the stage we got to then. So what we're going to start with today is decorating the outside, creating the things that go inside the pockets, and also doing a technique that we're going to use later on tomorrow. So first of all we need to pick our paper. Whoops. I have got the patterned paper pack that goes with all of the suite that I've shown you. So I am going to start with cutting something for the pockets. I'm going to use this beautiful paper here to create the inside of my pockets, and we will start cutting. So to start with we need to cut a strip that is 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut a strip all the way down. Sorry, just knock things over. And the first one is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then our next measurement is going to be a little bit bigger at 4 inches. Let me just check that. I think my measurement's wrong there. I think it's 5 1/2. So it's 5 1/4. I also need to flip this around, and I'm going to get 2 1-inch strips of card. So what I'm going to do with these 2 1-inch strips is I'm going to pop these inside the card itself, so that when we do a punch here you've got a nice bit of card to poke through. So I'm just going to apply glue to both of these strips, and gently poke them inside. So if you hold kind of a bit of the edge, you can just slide it in and then press down as such, and then I'm just going to sandwich it in and give it a good press. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the larger pocket. So again, just sliding that in there. Now you could do that before sticking the pocket down, but because we've got the tabs, I want it to make sure it covers the tabs inside. And then we're going to adhere the pattern paper directly onto our pocket. So as you can see, this one is pretty simple because it's just going to go the way the paper does. This one, I want the pattern to go the opposite direction, just to create that a little bit more of an effect. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got the pocket the right way, flip this over and stick it down. Now I'm going to put these to a side for a second just to let that dry, and then I'm going to punch out both of these just for a bit of an added effect. So I'm going to go back to my trimmer, and I'm going to grab another piece of Berry Bears card, because now we're going to make the bits that go inside of the pocket. So first of all, it's going to be cut to 3 1/4, and I'm going to cut at 6 inches for one, and this should leave a piece that can fit 4 inches. Actually, it can also do 5.5, which is my next piece, so I'm going to cut at 5.5. So that's 2 of my insides. And then I'm going to cut again 3.25. And I'm going to cut this time at 4 inches and at 3.75. And then what we need to do is decorate the 2 of these. In fact, I think I'm just going to cut that down. No, I'm going to leave it as it is because that's the way I designed it. And I'm just going to grab another sheet of patterned paper and start trimming down. So I need to start with 3 inches this time. And I'm going to cut down to 5.75, then 5.25, and again going to 3 inches, I'm going to cut 3.75 and 3.5. And all I'm going to do here is adhere the pattern paper onto the cardstock, and I'm going to use one of these cute little clips which comes in the accessory pack just to hold these together. So with this one I just like to layer each piece out just so I make sure I'm going to stick the right size to the right piece of card. As such. And then this is just a case of sticking down Now these pockets would be great for journaling. They would also be great just to add more pictures to. I'm going to leave mine blank at the moment just because I think they're a quite nice bold statement by themselves. And with this album I'm making, this is going to be, I'm not going to put any actual photos in it, I'm just going to leave them blank so that I can give it away as a present and somebody could add their own pictures to it. So sticking the pockets down. But this paper is so beautiful. I don't know if you can see on camera, but this is silver foiled so that the outline is just nice silver. So it really is eye-catching and beautiful. So I'm going to put the 2 smaller ones together, just with the little clip. And put these ones together too. Now this is a really beautiful accessory pack. It's got some nice stickers which you're going to be using later on. And it's got some ribbon and some tassels. But the stickers really make this project that we're doing today so quick and easy to use because we're going to use quite a few of them for decoration. Also comes with a gorgeous tiny silver washi tape which is perfect for framing photos. So all I'm doing here is I didn't get glue in that corner, so it was standing up. So I'm just moving it out of there, just applying more glue just so that it stays stuck down. So I've got a 1-inch punch here. All I'm going to do is push this into the card and give it a squeeze and punch out. Now we've got a nice little semicircle there. That just means we can see the nice pattern paper, and when we put in our note cards you can just see quite easily that this is something that pulls in and out. So I'm just going to repeat that step again. Now with these punches you can see where you're punching, so if I was doing it for example on a piece of card I could just see exactly where I want to go. Here the thinnest part means we have to push that in that way, but when you flip it round, squeeze the pocket and you can quite easily see where the hole is going to go. So now that I've done that, I am going to take off the tear tape backing and I'm going to adhere the little pocket to the big pocket, and this will be the front almost completed of this side of the album. But after we've done this, we're going to start our decorating. There is a technique I'm going to show you for the for something that we're going to do on the front and the inside. And it's perhaps the most therapeutic crafting I've ever done, this technique. But we're just going to lay the small pocket on top of the big pocket, give it a press down and add in our tabs. So now really all we need to do to this is we're going to add some decoration on the front. I'll show you the one I did for this. And we need to adhere it in, but we don't do that until we've finished assembling. So as you can see here, I've used the shape of a wedding cake, and I've used one big sticker and 2 little stickers from the embellishment pack. Now the embellishment packs comes with some vellum stickers, which I've made use of here, and also some bigger shapes. So we're going to be using those later on, but first of all I'm going to show you how to make this wedding cake. Now one of the things in this collection that you may have missed, because I know I nearly did, is this silver embossing paste here. So we have some plain embossing paste, and this also has some shimmery white, but I'm going to use this silver. I'm going to do a technique. I'm going to call it pasting because I don't know if it actually has a name, and that's exactly what it reminds me of. So I'm going to take my silicone mat and a sheet of some Berry Best, and I also am going to grab some of the Marina Mist card as well and get that out. Just going to cut this down. I don't need that much. Now what I need for this technique is my silver embossing paste and also the little spatula palette knife set that you can buy in the main catalogue. And this collection, this suite, also comes with 2 masks. Now these are incredibly beautiful masks, but I don't want to use them today. I'm going to go a bit free flow, and I'm going to show you how you can use the embossing paste with no masks at all to create a different effect. So you want to make sure that you don't leave the embossing paste open for long periods of time, and you also want to make sure that you have something handy to clean off the embossing paste from the palette knives. I would recommend when you do this at home, as soon as you're using the embossing paste, go clean it off. I've just got some on my finger straight away, but just for the sake of ease I'm going to use some baby wipes in the tutorial today. So I'm just going to pick up some of this silver embossing paste and apply it to the card. Now normally I would have a mask or something which would be what I would use to create the background. Here I'm looking for a nice textured silver background, so I'm simply going to spread this around until I get a desired effect. Now I don't want it to be that pristine silver, I want you to be able to get elements of the Berry Best through it. So I'm spreading it around the page, looking for the right kind of mixture of silver and the card base. So this also, for me, reminds me of a lot of the wedding cakes now, where they're kind of a bit shabby chic, so the icing's not perfect, and you can see the different layers. And that is what I'm going for here. So I think I am happy with that. Now that just needs to go to the sides and dry off. I'm going to do the exact same thing with some of this Marina Mist, because this is what I use on the front of the album to do my die cutting letters. Now on this one I'm going to spread it a little bit more thin, and I'm going to try and cover as much of this card as I can, just scraping off the excess. And I really want this blue to be quite shabby, so that when I do the die cutting it is a really nice effect. And you can just die cut this as normal, but obviously it does need to dry. It takes probably about 5 minutes to touch dry, but then I like to leave it for at least an hour before I do any die cutting, just so that it is really nice and solid dry. And this is so therapeutic. It is just like maybe tiling or pasting, and as you can see it's really shimmery and beautiful. So I'm just going to put that to the side, and now I'm going to clean up my spatula wipe where I've got it. This is one of our silicone mats. It's not very expensive at all, but it's an absolute godsend when you're doing anything like heat embossing, using a glue gun, doing something like this, because you can just wipe up the mess and it's good to use next time. So when you put your embossing paste away, you need to make sure that you press firmly down on the silver and that you've still got the padding there. Make sure you're closing it as tight as possible, and that will just keep it good to use for next time. Because, like I say, it touch dries in 5 minutes, you don't want to leave it open overnight. So I just want to grab an M I did spare for the original album. This is one where I've kind of tried to create a really nice uniform silver, so it is really quite silver. And on the front here you can see that these ones are a little bit more bluey. And here the wedding cake is just good to go. Is kind of got lots of pink in it and still quite covered. Okay, so that is the decoration for the one side of the album today. I will be back tomorrow showing you how to decorate the waterfall. It's in a mixture of techniques, so I'll go through all of these tomorrow. And as I say, I will not be using my own photos for this. I will be having blanks so that I can give this away. So be sure to check back tomorrow. I'd love to see how you're getting on with your albums. Please do post the pictures on Facebook at Create with Kaylee, and I hope you'll tune back in tomorrow. Have a great day.